This video is gonna make you choke on your pho. Who might be thinking, doesn't this bald weird guy with the goatee love Vietnam? And I do. However, having lived here for over 12 years and even getting my Vietnamese citizenship, so I think and I hope you could tell me that I have earned the right to be pissed off about a few things in Vietnam. This is part 2 about things I hate about Vietnam, and you probably hate them too. It looks like many of you agreed with me when I said don't trust anybody in Vietnam in my previous episode. If you thought that was bad, I've got news for you. That's just the beginning of all your problems. But not everything is negative. I'll drop in a few positives as well to keep it balanced and fair. So let's get started. It's holiday madness. Why does everybody have to travel at the same time every single year and for all the holidays? This causes mad traffic everywhere you go all over Vietnam, especially during the big holidays. Also, the businesses and the government agencies close as well, so it's very difficult to do business. Did you know that roughly about 10,000 people die in traffic during the holidays in Vietnam every single year? That is crazy madness. From a business standpoint, it's actually even more difficult because, like I said, the agencies close, the businesses close. So if you were trying to get some paperwork done like IRCs or ERCs during the holidays, it's nearly impossible, especially during the Tet holidays. That impacts a lot our competitive advantage just because the rest of the world, our Thai office, our US office, Singapore office, they're all working except for our office in Vietnam, which is actually the majority of our team. So that is one of the crazy things about the holiday madness. I personally have turned around on many of the holidays trying to get to Đà Lạt or Vũng Tàu or somewhere else by driving just because the traffic was so crazy. Also, the hotels double their prices. All the food and all the venues charge double as well. And what we call in Vietnam, chém, which means that they are charging you much higher prices. So you compound all that together, it's just a horrible experience to travel domestically in Vietnam during the holidays. And that's why sometimes I choose to go internationally, to Thailand, to Bali, to Japan during Vietnam's national holidays, because those other countries are not on those same holidays. Well, on the flip side of the holiday travel, Vietnam is so diverse. It has everything you need, from the mountains of Đà Lạt, the beautiful beaches of Da Nang, Nha Trang, and Vũng Tàu, where you can just lay, chill, and have a coconut. So if you're stuck here during the holiday madness or you came during that time, just enjoy beautiful Vietnam and all its great landscapes and scenery. The next hate that disrupts my flow, the prolonged holiday. Let me explain. A 2-day holiday with the government allowing for more time, or it's in between a break, it turns into a 5-day holiday. Or sometimes the staff asks for an extra day on a Monday or Friday so they can have a longer holiday. That is really great. Everybody seems to be happy except when you're an international business running in Vietnam. While the world is working, Vietnam is on pause. Banks close, transfers freeze, governments vanish. And you are left explaining to your foreign partners why everything stops and you have to wait until next week. The intention might be good, and it's great for national morale. But if you are a business or an individual operating globally, these extensions are less about business and more about headaches. Speaking of headaches, bad traffic is one of them. And that's the one thing I still hate about Vietnam. It appears that rules are only a suggestion here. Technically, Vietnam's traffic laws are just like in Western countries. Yielding, signaling, and stopping at a red light, though they are only auditioning for secondary roles. Really, in Vietnam, it's every driver for themselves. Cars block intersections, bikes cross lanes like a swarm of bees, and nobody signals unless it's by accident. What you get is organized chaos, or rather, more chaos pretending to be organized. Everyone honks, squeezes, improvises their own path, and you're trusting others that everyone would do the same. In the meantime, new traffic laws are up and running and they can be stricter than even in the West. Decree 168 started this year and is cranking up the fines, even up to $550 for the smallest mistakes, stopping slightly over the line, not signaling early enough, and even parking a few centimeters off the curb. Meanwhile, the intersections are still filled with drivers running red lights, riding on the sidewalks, and blocking the lanes like it's a national sport. It's selective enforcement at its finest. Punish the easy targets, ignore the real chaos. Cameras may catch minor violations, but somehow, the big bus going the wrong way gets a free pass. The result, you get hit with new traffic fines like if it was free banh mi day. But traffic fines doesn't fix the problem. It just makes it more expensive to live with. And that's another thing I hate about Vietnam. Talking about transportation, one of the positive things is the development of infrastructure in Vietnam. Take, for example, the metro. We took it, and now, even after a year of operations, we still see that it's very clean and safe. Unlike places like New York or other Western countries, it's actually very dangerous. You can get robbed, mugged, or in some cases, even get harmed as well. But before I get back to the hating, 80% of you are not subscribed to this channel, which doesn't help us a lot because it's free to do, it's very easy to do, and it helps the algorithm say that you love our channel and our content. So hit the subscribe button so you can follow us for the real Vietnam and see and hear all the things that I hate about it. Another thing I hate about Vietnam is in order to get good education for your kids, you have to spend an arm and a leg. International schools are charging $500 million a year or $20,000 plus dollars just to have the international curriculum for your kids. But to be honest with you, they promise critical thinking, but really deliver rote memorization drills in fancier buildings. Meanwhile, public schools are really still in the past. Kids are required to memorize textbooks word for word. They're afraid to ask questions, and they continue to taught to chase grades instead of ideas. Critical thinking is not encouraged because it's inconvenient. But for whom? And let's be honest, plagiarism isn't taboo here. It's tradition. Students copy homework, teachers look the other way, and yet the system continues to reward repetition instead of originality. While the elite are buying international education, the rest of the country is left to memorize outdated formulas, hoping one day thinking for yourself isn't just a privilege, but air, that's the real privilege. Maybe the hate that chokes me the most is the air pollution. It's not just bad, it's deadly. Cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh rank some of the worst air pollution in the world, sometimes surpassing levels that would trigger health emergencies elsewhere. The usual blame falls on motorbikes. And yes, there are tens of millions of them puffing out smoke every single day. But the real culprits are much bigger. Factories, construction dust, and industrial zones operating around the clock with minimal regulation. These are the first offenders that somehow have escaped scrutiny and headlines. Breathing air from an exhaust pipe in LA is still healthier than breathing the air in Hanoi. Air pollution triggers cancers, causes diseases, and even skin damage, among many other things. Hanoi can reach an AQI level of 200 plus easily. Talking about skin damage, fortunate side of Vietnam, there are many affordable spas and wellness centers. Because of the air pollution and sun, taking care of your skin so it doesn't age like a dry tomato is important. Personally, I get a treatment every single week in order to reduce inflammation from the pollution, UV exposure. This treatment lasts for 90 minutes and afterwards I feel fresh and relaxed. If you're in Ho Chi Minh City, check out Aman Spa by clicking on the link below. So, if the air doesn't slow you down, definitely the paperwork will. Vietnam can digitize like a champ, but it'll still ask for a wet signature on Form 7B because the computer says no. One office says Tuesday, another office says Thursday, the website says yesterday. You'll collect stamps that you didn't even know existed. Need a business permit? That's like going through 5 offices, 32 signatures, and 8 coffee breaks, hoping that one guy does not go to lunch. The real art isn't about completing the paperwork, It's actually knowing who has the authority to approve it. Yet, nobody really knows who. Departments overlap, rules contradict, and if you miss one stamp, you're back to square one. The process moves at the speed of confusion. And the only one foolproof strategy is knowing someone. In Vietnam, bureaucracy isn't just slow, it's a full-time job. And we have made a full-time job out of it, so you don't have to. So if you're opening up a company or registering a marriage certificate, let us handle the bureaucracy for you. The last but not least thing I hate about Vietnam is the foreigner paradox. Let me explain. I see a lot of foreigners constantly complain about everything. Vietnam this, Vietnam that, but yet they continue to renew their visa every time it comes up. Because deep down, underneath all that chaos, there is something magnetic about Vietnam. The energy, the people, the food, the madness, it just grows on you. Vietnam frustrates you, tests your patience, and drains your wallet. But yet, it really makes you feel alive, unless if you're breathing the air for too long. Maybe that's the real paradox. We don't stay because it's perfect. We stay because it's real. And let's be honest, no matter how much you complain about Vietnam, once you land elsewhere, you're gonna miss the bowl of pho at midnight. Vietnam isn't perfect. It's far from it. But no country is perfect. It's loud, it's messy, unpredictable, and sometimes exhausting. But damn, that same storm that has this electric warmth, raw opportunity that sneaks up on you and grabs you. If you stay long enough, you'll learn how to navigate the scams, dodge the traffics, survive the blackouts, and even laugh at the madness. You start to see the beauty in the imperfections, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be part of the change instead of being a complainer. But in Vietnam, you have two options. You either learn, adapt, and fix what's broken, or you pack your bags and go home. But that doesn't mean we should turn a blind eye to what we don't like. As always, we always talk about the positives and the negatives about Vietnam on this channel. And many of you who watch this probably already know that, unless you have the attention span of a goldfish. And that is why more and more people join our community every day. Tell me in the comments which hate you've survived and which love that keeps you here. If you want more real Vietnam and not just brochure Vietnam, hit that subscribe button and click on the bell. So on behalf of Duong Global, my name is Ken Duong. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.